Let's be real, feedback can be tough. Sometimes it's helpful, pushing us to grow and learn. Other times it stings like a paper cut. We've all been there. But what if there was a way to make feedback more effective, more genuine, and well, less painful? Enter Radical Candor, a game-changing approach to communication championed by Kim Scott. In her book, Scott, a former executive at Google and Apple, shares her insights on how to give and receive feedback that's both kind and clear. This isn't about being brutally honest or sugarcoating everything. It's about finding that sweet spot where honesty meets empathy. Think of it this way: we all crave genuine connection and growth, both in our personal and professional lives. Radical Candor offers a framework for achieving just that. It's about building trust, fostering open communication, and creating an environment where everyone feels valued and heard. So, before you shy away from giving or receiving feedback, remember this: Radical Candor isn't about criticism. It's about caring enough to be honest with each other. Radical Candor boils down to two essential elements: caring personally and challenging directly. It's about giving a damn about the people you work with, while also being brave enough to tell them the truth. Sounds simple, right? Well, it's a delicate dance that requires both courage and compassion. Caring personally means showing genuine interest in your colleagues as people. It's about understanding their perspectives, motivations, and aspirations. It's about creating a space where they feel safe to be themselves, warts and all. Challenging directly is about being honest, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about addressing issues head-on, providing constructive criticism, and pushing each other to grow. But here's the catch: it has to be done with empathy and respect. Radical Candor isn't about being a jerk. It's about being a good friend or colleague. It's about saying the things that need to be said, even when they're hard to say, because you care enough to see the other person succeed. Remember, feedback is a gift, and Radical Candor is the wrapping paper that makes it a joy to receive. To truly understand Radical Candor, we need to explore the 4 quadrants of feedback that Kim Scott brilliantly outlines. 1. Obnoxious aggression. This is the my way or the highway approach to feedback. It's direct but lacks empathy, often leaving the receiver feeling attacked or belittled. Think Simon Cowell on American Idol. Blunt, brutal, and often lacking in tact. 2. Ruinous empathy. This quadrant is all about avoiding conflict. It's where feedback gets sugarcoated to the point of being meaningless. It might feel good in the moment, but it ultimately does a disservice to everyone involved. Imagine a friend constantly telling you how amazing your terrible singing is. Not very helpful, right? 3. Manipulative insincerity. This is the most insidious quadrant where feedback is driven by ulterior motives. It's dishonest, inauthentic, and often used to sabotage others. Think backstabbing coworkers whispering behind your back. Not cool. 4. Radical Candor. This is the holy grail of feedback, the sweet spot where honesty and empathy collide. It's about caring enough to challenge directly, providing constructive criticism that helps others grow. By understanding these quadrants, we can start to identify where our own feedback falls short and strive to operate from a place of radical candor. Before we continue, if you're enjoying the content, hit like and subscribe for more insightful summaries. Let's bring radical candor to life with a real-world example. Imagine you're a manager and you have an employee who consistently misses deadlines. Instead of stewing in frustration or resorting to passive-aggressive comments, Radical Candor encourages you to address the issue directly. You might start by saying something like, "Hey, employee's name, I've noticed you've missed the last few deadlines. I know you're incredibly talented and capable, so I wanted to check in and see if there's anything going on that's preventing you from meeting these deadlines. I'm here to support you in any way I can." See the difference? You're acknowledging the issue directly while also expressing your belief in your employee's abilities. You're showing that you care about their success and are invested in helping them improve. Remember, Radical Candor is a two-way street. It's equally important to be receptive to feedback, even when it's tough to hear. Approach challenging feedback with an open mind and a willingness to learn and grow. Ready to embrace Radical Candor in your own life? Here are some actionable tips. Giving feedback. Choose the right time and place. Don't ambush someone with feedback. Schedule a time to talk privately, where you can have a focused conversation. Be specific and direct. Avoid vague statements like "you need to be more proactive." Instead, provide concrete examples and actionable suggestions. Focus on the behavior, not the person. Instead of saying you're always late, try "I've noticed you've been late to the last 3 meetings." Check for understanding. After giving feedback, ask the receiver to summarize what they heard to ensure they understand. Receiving feedback. Listen actively. Resist the urge to get defensive. Focus on truly hearing what the other person is saying. Ask clarifying questions. If something is unclear, don't be afraid to ask for clarification. Say thank you. Even if the feedback is tough to hear, thank the person for caring enough to share it with you. Don't take it personally. Remember, feedback is about your actions and behavior, not your worth as a person. Radical candor isn't just a communication technique, it's a philosophy that can transform your relationships and career. By embracing honesty and empathy, we can create a world where feedback is embraced as a gift, not feared as a weapon. Remember, building genuine connections requires vulnerability and courage. It requires us to show up authentically and speak our truths with kindness and compassion. So the next time you have the opportunity to give or receive feedback, remember the principles of radical candor. Challenge directly, care personally, and watch your relationships flourish. Now it's your turn. How can you incorporate radical candor into your own life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We reached the end, but before you leave, let us know in the comments if you are going to read the book. Also join our community of passionate readers by simply subscribing to our channel, where your love for knowledge and great stories truly matters.